Hey everyone, welcome to all our viewers across the world, our World Business Forum audience, and all our Chief Executive Magazine readers. I'm Martin Lindstrom, your co-host, along with my iconic and dear friend, the world's #1 leadership coach, Marshall Goldsmith. Now, Marshall is a member of the Thinkers 50 Hall of Fame and has written some of the best and most iconic books out there, including, by the way, his latest New York Times bestseller, The Earned Life, Lose Regret to Fulfillment. And I just have to say one thing, the book is amazing. And yes, I'm being paid for saying it, but I mean it at the same time. No, I mean, it's not paying anything, but I have to say that book is absolutely a mind-blowing book. So you have to read it. Now, beside all these fancy credentials, I have to say that more than important than anything, Marshall is just an amazing human being. So Marshall, thanks again for showing up. Wow, the New York Times bestselling book once again. I don't know how you do it.
Lots of work. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your support. And I am here with my colleague, Martin Lindstrom. Martin Lindstrom is the world's most interesting human being, the world's most interesting person. And Aisha is a good friend of Aisha. You got to get to know this guy. He's crazier than hell, but other than that, I love him, right? So he's the world's most interesting person. He's also Thinkers 50 person, one of the best business thinkers in the world, one of the Time Magazine 100 most influential people in the world, only the world though, only the world. And he's author of books like Biology, The Ministry of Common Sense, and also is just a good human being, interesting, and also I'd say one of the most creative people I've ever met. So, very honored to be on this show with Martin. And Martin does an amazing job of producing this show. I don't know how he does it. Yay.
Thank you, Marshall. And you managed to make me blush in just 60 seconds. So thank you for that. That's really kind of you. And do you know what? He does this every second week. That's the reason why I love this show. You know what? Now, if you have any questions or comments, just post them here or just tell us who you are and where you are. And if you, by the way, like this show, don't forget to press the like, the follow, or the subscribe button. Now, Marshall, I know you have a very special relationship with our first guest, right?
We're not talking about like, we're talking love here. Lots of love. So let me introduce Aisha Evans. I love Aisha. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. She is from Senegal, Africa, speaks a bunch of languages, an expert in technology. She's won all kinds of awards like the most powerful women in America and all kinds of other technology things. She was at Intel where she was a chief strategy officer. She had all kinds of other interesting jobs. And now she also has one of the world's interesting jobs. She is the CEO of Zoox. And Martin, a comment you made about small company, big company, well, she was in a small company at Zoox, and now it's part of a big company called Amazon. So you can't, she's gone from way small to about as big as you can get. So one of the world's most interesting people. Let's hear it for Aisha. Yay, very good. Now, Aisha, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Just give us a little of your story. Here's some girl from Senegal, way back where, ending up being a CEO of this company in the US. What happened? Tell us just a little of your journey.
So, I mean, I had an incredible support system at all stages. In Senegal with my parents who exposed me to technology and education. In France through seeing now what technology could make possible. And then in the US with people like you coaching me through things, my husband supporting me. So I would say, three things: an incredible support system at all phases of the journey, an insatiable curiosity about things and how they work and what they make possible, and how can I participate in them, so drawing a sense of purpose. And I would say, last but not least, a lot of risk-taking and adapting and learning how to handle difficult situations and failure and turn them into fuel, as opposed to being held back. That's really the essence of my journey.
That's wonderful.
It's absolutely amazing, I have to say. Listen, in my opening of this show, I talked a lot about the big and the small company. Now, for me, Amazon is all about retail and e-commerce and cloud management. How does a self-driving car fit into that picture? I mean, it seems to be two different worlds somehow, right?
Yeah, that's a very fair representation. So I think when we think about Amazon and Zoox, first we should abstract. Yes, it's e-commerce and it's AWS, but Amazon is a transportation company. They transport goods to you, or they transport compute to you, or they transport entertainment to you. And Zoox is a transportation company too. It just happens to use autonomy to serve transportation. So I think in terms of mindset and in terms of long-term orientation, that's where the alignment is. As we will discuss in this session, it's hard for big companies to grow and stay innovative. And Zoox allows one of the vectors of growth and risk-taking and really innovation for Amazon. And so that's really, it's as simple as that. It's those two reasons. And we've been left very independent to go pursue the mission, understanding that once we put points on the board on the mission and establish the foundation, there will be synergies. But those are step 2, not step 1.
You know, I could ask you about 1,000 questions, but I'm going to limit myself. I'm supposed to ask one, but I'm going to cheat and ask 2 anyway. All right. So the first question is, I think you're just a wonderful role model. And I remember I had a very touching conversation with you after you got that Most Powerful Women Award. I started crying. It was really moving. And, you know, just you're a role model for girls, for people in minorities. And, you know, I'm so proud to know you. Just what advice do you have for those maybe younger people listening in, or the people that had to overcome something?
First of all, thank you for the kind words. I would not be where I am without you. So I appreciate you. I love you. Frankly, you know that. I would say, oh, the first thing is don't let the environment define you.
Yeah.
Find what you're passionate about, find what you're curious about, find what makes you tick. And by the way, you'll see it both in your professional life as well as in your personal life. Right. And pursue that. And find people who will advise you, support you, educate you, challenge you, question you. And by support, I don't mean latent support, a phone call from here and then to just be like a shrink for you. Sorry to use that language. Yeah, yeah. But people who will sponsor you, people who will help you, and ask them for help to go pursue that mission. If you do that, I promise great things will happen.
Well, you know, I kind of love not just what you're doing from a kind of fun technology point of view, but from a higher purpose point of view. So if you look at Zoox, I think there really is a wonderful higher purpose there. Can you kind of share that with the people?
Yeah, for us, it's really, this is about using autonomy to change the mobility on demand business so that you have essentially the most efficient and effective way of going from point A to point B. We do not sell you a vehicle. We sell you a ride in a purpose-built vehicle that basically was re-architected and redesigned for AI to do the driving, because your car of today is architected for a human to do the driving. And so higher purpose, safety. We tolerate an incredible amount of fatalities due to crashes that are totally avoidable. The environment, at least hopefully we're now at the point where we no longer debate that we have an environmental problem and we need to take care of Mother Earth, and especially for future generation. Productivity. Why do we spend 400 billion hours driving as humans? We could use those hours to do way more important things. And then just congestions and cities. I mean, you look at our cities today, unless we're willing, at least in the United States, and frankly, around the world, unless we're willing to destroy them and rebuild them, they currently cannot sustain life and economic pursuit for all of us on Earth. And then the fifth one is economic access. I truly believe that human beings use transportation, whether it's virtual transportation, the internet, or physical transportation. They use that to access knowledge, to share knowledge, which create upward economic mobility, which I think will leave us in a much better world. So those are the 5 reasons why it's a little grandiose, but we think we can affect society and how life is lived.